The government shutdown now dragging into day 18 with no end in sight. Senate Democrats repeatedly rejecting a new funding bill. So what do Republicans plan to do? Well, look who's here in studio. Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin joins me now. Senator Mullin, I want to get to the shutdown, but first I want to talk about this so-called No Kings protest. Your team exposed this, and you found a poster. Apparently, they're touting the communist?
Yeah, well, it's actually sponsored. If you look at their sponsorship of the No Kings rally, it says CPUSA, which is the Communist Party of the United States of America. And it actually has the same symbol that the old Soviet Union used to have on it. When my team first saw it, they looked at it and they said, is this for real? We researched it, and sure enough, you can see it right there in the bottom left-hand corner where it says CPUSA. You're going, okay, there's a reason why Republicans are calling this an anti-American rally. It is exactly what it is. When you have the Communist Party that's sponsoring it, you're saying that's pro-America? Come on, give me a break. And you're protesting on the streets that President Trump made safe. You're protesting on the streets that President Trump has made it possible for you to actually walk outside. I mean, you're protesting President Trump, who's secured the border, who's lowered inflation, who's brought down gas prices, who's had morale in the military at the highest it's been. I mean, you go through the optimistic outlook for the American people, and they're saying that this is the first time they feel hopeful about it. He's ended 8 wars. He's brought home the hostages in Israel, and yet you still see signs out there that says Free Palestine. I mean, are you kidding? You can't make this stuff up. What are you exactly protesting other than your hatred towards President Trump? And it's absolutely absurd. And you have the Communist Party that's sponsoring you?
Yeah, the Communist Party USA, you see that there in that poster. And yet your colleague in the Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, said this. I want to play his remarks about this protest.
We are a democracy in America. We have no kings, despite the fact that Trump has even said he wants to become one. Millions of Americans, millions will come together to say just that we don't want kings in America. I will join the marchers to celebrate what makes this country so great.
So he's joining the marchers sponsored by the Communist Party?
Right. Well, but look who's leading the party today. You have a socialist and a Marxist between Bernie Sanders and AOC. You have 3 individuals that were sworn in by the Quran who believes in the Sharia law, which is Tlaib, Omar, and Jasmine Crockett. And so you think, and they're the 5 people leading it, and you have Chuck Schumer that's going to literally march in a parade led by the Communist Party. But you know who's not marching in it? Hakeem Jeffries. Do you know who also hasn't supported Madami, who's an open communist that's going to possibly be the mayor of this great city? Is Hakeem Jeffries. You know why? I 100% believe he's setting up a run for 2028. I mean, who else is the party going to go to, right? They're going to recycle Hillary. They're going to bring back Michelle Obama. They're going to bring Kamala Harris, who says she's by far the most qualified candidate to ever run for president. I mean, literally, she said that with a straight face. And so I 100% think Hakeem is at this point is looking at a 2028 run.
Well, that's fascinating to me because Hakeem Jeffries has never been on my radar as someone who could run for office. But you make a really compelling case. He's not endorsed the Democratic Socialist, who's the Democratic nominee.
Right.
And he's not going to join these marchers. So what's his calculation here? He wants to play a little bit to the middle?
Well, think about when Speaker McCarthy became Speaker. It was Nancy Pelosi who was the speaker who should have gave the gavel to Kevin McCarthy. She didn't. She stood aside, and the gavel was actually given by Hakeem Jeffries, who was never the speaker. He never had the gavel. And he went on, if you remember, at 1 o'clock in the morning, he went on for about a 15-minute rant about it sounded like he was announcing his candidacy. So at that point was the first time I looked at that and said, I told my wife, I went, he's running for president. And I think he wanted to run for president in 26, excuse me, but he couldn't. But you think about the individuals out here that are also looking at the No Kings Day. These are the same people that put Kamala Harris in as their nominee, and she never won even a primary election.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what a king is. A king doesn't win an election. A king is appointed. They literally appointed Kamala Harris to be their VP or their presidential candidate for the Democrat Party in the 26 elections, and yet they're protesting President Trump, who won, the electoral vote, the popular vote, and by the way, all 77 counties in Oklahoma, which he's very proud of, and we're very proud of that too. He was actually duly elected, yet this party is who? I don't even know if they know their identity anymore.
Yeah, the Democratic Party, it's worth mentioning, when's the last time they really had a competitive primary? Because the Bernie Sanders camp is like, hey, now, you blocked me from the nomination, and then next time around, they appoint Kamala Harris, no real election or primary there. As we look at these images, look, there's a guy in like clown hair there, rainbow clown hair. You see this torch, I assume that's.
Well, I'm glad they're blocking out the vulgar language, too. You always see all the signs that have vulgar stuff written on them.
I bet you passed a lot of that here in New York City. But this is what Democrats are shutting down the government for, because the reasoning here is Schumer got so much criticism in March for making a deal with Republicans, and he needed to cater to the left-wing base, and so he needed to let this rally happen before reopening the government. Do you believe that's the cynical calculation? No.
Well, it even gets crazier than that, Kaylee. If you look at who actually wrote the CR, he wrote it. He wrote this clean CR back in September when he was leader of the Senate, when he was underneath President Biden. This is the same CR we passed last September. This is that he voted for. This is the CR we voted for in December. This is the CR he voted for in January, and the CR he voted for in March. What's changed now is you got a career politician named, well, Chucky Schumer, who is afraid of AOC in 2028. Now, mind you, his election isn't until 2028. But when he voted for it in March, she released a poll showing that she beats him statewide by 20%. His entire mentality changed, because that's what happens when you have a career politician. I make a joke about this all the time, but he was in the House of Representatives in '96. That was 3 decades ago. That's the year I graduated high school.
Yeah.
That's how long he's been there. But that's what you have when you have a career politician. You can't rationalize with them because they're not making sense for the American people. You can't negotiate with crazy. He's worried about his political views, which is his political ambitions. He's scared to death that he won't have the title senator if he votes for it.
So you said you were in high school when he was elected?
Yes.
Mike Johnson said he was in 3rd grade, so I'm doing some age calculations here, trying to figure out your age, Senator Mullin. All right, you're a young buck. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.